Hi, everyone. Welcome to my first ever broadcast of my Empowered Wellness Conversations. And this is my good friend, Sidney Morris. I met just a few months ago, and 8 months ago already, in
March already, yeah.
right in Mexico. We were at Sanoviv Medical Institute together, treating cancer. And we got to hang out when we were in the nurses station, when we were getting, doing treatments, and then when we were, eating and swimming, stuff like that, and watching movies.
All the
So
fun stuff.
all the fun stuff, and got to know you a lot then. And but yet there's still so much more, because that was just a short amount of time of days that we were there in Mexico. And so let's get to know each other a little more and talk a little bit. I know that you're in education. You're a retired teacher, or weren't you a principal?
I'm a recovering educator.
Yeah.
That's how I talk about it. I finally realized that I had to get out of the way and let the kids do their own thing as much as possible, which I knew from the beginning, but I kept trying to get money out of people for being an educator. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. So now I'm just trying to help kids do their own thing.
Right. I remember you showing me pictures, because you live on the East Coast, and
Martha's Vineyard, yep.
Martha's Vineyard. You were showing me pictures of the ox that you were teaching the kids how to.
Oh, yeah. For a while, I was education director of a teaching farm. So we had 100 kids on the farm every day in the summertime, and they were basically doing all the farm work and learning about it. And I decided we needed some oxen. So some friends gave me some week-old steers, and then I raised them up. Mostly, I gave them to kids to raise up. And so the kids trained them, and then they carried all the stuff around the farm, and it was fantastic. Their names were Zeus and Apollo.
Yeah. That's so cool. So in your life of teaching, do you find that you're still involved in that aspect of educating children, or has your vision become even bigger, like helping the educators build a system?
Well, I think it's always been that big from the beginning, but it's an uphill battle because we've all been told that educators know everything and parents know everything and kids know nothing. And so that's what it's all about, is, filling them up with all these things that we supposedly know. But the fact of the matter is they were born to learn, and they can do it themselves from the word go. And they do it on their own till they're 5 years old. And then we slap them across the face and say, sit down, shut up. First grade says, you don't know anything, we know everything, and you have to be quiet. And it's a travesty. The kids should be able to follow their own interests and passions their entire lives. And that's how they get good at something, is by doing something they like to do.
Totally.
So we don't have to worry about them making a living, because they're going to live it before they make it, So, yeah, I mean, I've been involved at all different levels, starting schools and homeschooling our own kids. And right now I'm working with parents who are kind of like on the cusp of in school, out of school, because school is so weird.
Yeah.
Most of it's on Zoom, and most of the kids hate it. There's a few who love it because they hated it when they were in school, but the Zoom seems kind of cool because they get their work done in 2 hours and then they go outside.
Yeah.
Most kids just want to go outside, period. Forget the Zoom part. And I'm still doing the Wander Bus, which is an idea I came up with a few years ago, where I meet with kids in the library. I ask them what they want to do. They put all their ideas down on a blackboard or a whiteboard, or they write pictures because they can't read yet, that kind of stuff. And then they all vote, and they negotiate, and they compromise, and they say, okay, this is what we're doing. They tell me, I get in the car and drive them there. It's as simple as it could be. Just, what do you want to do? We want to do this. Okay, let's go do it.
Yeah.
And that's where they learn things, because they're motivated to be in that context, in that environment, in that situation, and they learn from it.
So, right. It's more meaningful to them, that experience.
Yeah. I say Wander Bus, and people say Wonder Bus,
Yeah.
They can't quite figure out what, and that was intentional, so that they would like mix it up between wonder and wander, and
wander. Yeah. I always love having meals with you, because we I liked your insight on education, and I never really asked you, why did you choose to go to Sanoviv to heal your cancer?
Because I had some very good friends who went to Sanoviv to heal their cancer,
Ah,
and they talked very highly of it. So I took their word for it,
yeah.
and I'm glad I did.
How's it going? How's everything going?
Well, it's just going. You know,
Mhm.
I'm taking 150 supplements a day, and what can I do but expect the best? That's how we're going to heal, is by
Yeah,
living into our healing as opposed to worrying about what we won't heal.
totally. Yeah.
So, and I don't, there's no point in my finding out too much about what's going on inside my body from numbers and pictures and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not going to change what I'm doing. So
I love it because you've
talking to you is
incorporated
my
it.
therapy. This is my therapy, talking to you.
Yeah. You've
And watching you
incorporated this,
dance, watching you dance. That's
watching me dance. Yeah, your daughter's got the moves. I'm sure you can bust a move too, huh?
well, it's like she did come from.
You
Actually,
taught her everything she knows.
it's been my favorite thing to do in my life. Actually, is dance. And
Yeah.
in the last few years, when my body was doing other things, I sort of forgot about that. But now we have to dance. How do we dance with each other on Zoom? And that's kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
what else do we have to do?
Right. So I came up with my dance challenge because like a little over a month ago, I was in a funk and I was feeling ugh. And I was one of our assignments in a class that I'm taking was to do this dance, to do a dance on a live stream in our group. And I found that when I did that dance, all of a sudden that was like the magic pill. It totally, I was just like, this is me. I'm back. I'm back. You know, it was like getting in touch with your true essence, like your true joy. And so I thought, well, if this made me happy, maybe it'll help other people. So
Funny
that's
you
why
should
I
say
did
that,
the
because
dance
when I met
challenge.
my wife, when we were both in our last years of college, mine my fourth college and she in her third college, she
Mhm.
was a dance therapy major. So
Ah,
she was really focused on the effect that dance can have on people. Um,
mhm.
and I already liked to dance, so I guess we were a good match because of that. And we both danced in a modern dance company for a while, and she still dances in an improvisational company now that she's 71.
That's
A
awesome.
whole bunch of old people dancing.
That's who I want to be. You are who I want to be. You're so much fun. You're such a light, I mean, you are such an inspiration. I just want you to know that.
Easy now. Take it
Even
easy.
we don't even really know each other, but what I get from you is good vibes. So,
Likewise, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
yeah.
I do say I have to be, I'm really jealous. Even though we both live on an island, your mountains are way bigger than my mountains.
Yeah. They are
And,
pretty magnificent.
and you can see the ocean in a way you can't see it from our little tiny hills, because you can't get up there way up in the sky and look down on the ocean and see all that beautiful green stuff. And
Yeah.
I've never been to Hawaii, but I'll get there someday, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Just set a date. It'll happen, right? Well, if you
Yeah.
come, you have to definitely connect with me,
My
and
wife
we.
has a cousin who lives in Utah. He's a
Mhm.
Mormon and has 11 children.
Oh yeah.
And he does crazy things like ride his bicycle across the country. And
Mhm.
one day he bought a boat that was 12 feet long at a yard sale in California
Mhm.
and decided to sail to Hawaii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a yard
So,
sale.
so he tried to do it. And after, I don't know, hours and hours and hours, he had to call the Coast Guard because this 12-foot boat wasn't going to make it to Hawaii. But, you know, I admire his spirit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, you want to do stuff? Try it out. In
Yeah.
fact, most of the things I've done in my life, I never would have done had I known how difficult they were.
Mhm.
But if you think too much about that in the beginning, you're never going to do it.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know,
Just put that block up. Yeah. Gotta do it. We only live once, right?
We don't know.
In this body, but
Right.
maybe, right.
Chances are we live a lot of times, but hey,
Yeah.
we don't really remember except in weird unconscious connections or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you believe in that past life and stuff like that?
I'm not for anything. I mean, this whole business of I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. It's like, okay, you're missing out, maybe. But
Yeah.
and I mean, all the stuff I've heard about people going into a different space when they're in near-death experiences, it tells me that there's some weird stuff going on over there on the other side, and it's
Hmm.
probably good because it's probably connected to the universe and it's probably all one with everything. And it's
Hmm.
we wouldn't have gotten this far if it was bad, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
now
life's a miracle. So
life is a huge miracle. And my son recently, he's 17, he for some reason came upon a meditation for past life regression. And he told me, "Mom, I think I was I think I was an Indian before because this is what I saw." And so then I listened to it and I attempted to figure out my past lives. And I don't know what it is exactly, but I know there's something having to do with rocks because I love triangle rocks. Um, I went hiking like 2, 3 weeks ago, and I was looking at the rocks. I was like, as I was walking and up the mountain, I was looking at all the rocks. I said, "Oh, these are really pretty rocks. I would take one home only if I find a triangle." And as it said triangle, my eyes landed on the triangle.
there you
I
go.
said, "Guess you're coming home with me." So yeah.
Well, I think that it's actually all your past lives are happening at the same time. See,
Oh,
if you believe in quantum physics, the universe is really all happening at once.
yeah. Well, that's a thought that I had recently, just yesterday actually, about when you're close to death and then you start to drift off and see your family and stuff like that. That whole part
Hmm.
of the dying process is like, what if like you're there but you're here, you know? You're with them, but you're not in physical form. So it's really interesting.
I think we
Yeah.
as sentient beings are just getting started. We've had little time on the planet actually using our brains in any effective way, so we
Hmm.
still have lots to learn, and we have lots to learn from the animals. So
Hmm.
they've been around a long time too, you know. And when you think of what the evolution that the whales and the dolphins have gone through, you know, we got to respect what they know, because who's saying that they're any less on top of it than we are?
Yeah,
Which is
that's
why
true.
I'm carrying a dolphin around top of my truck now.
You carrying a
The
dolphin?
Wanderbus has a profile of a dolphin on top of on top of the van, because
Wow.
I needed a buddy, like one who was going to keep me honest and think about the environment and think about my impact on the world.
Hmm.
So I just look up at her and I go, "How am I doing?"
Does
She
she have a
said,
name?
"Does she have a name?"
Yeah.
No, but
She
she's
needs
a
a
she.
name.
She's a she.
She's a she.
Yeah.
I have a lion stuffed animal that my friend gave me to go to Mexico, and I was asking people, what should I name this, this lion stuffed animal, and they gave me all these beautiful names, and I still just call him Lion. That
Yeah.
works. Yeah. What's your biggest takeaway about getting treatment in Mexico? What do you think was good or bad? Would
I
you
think
recommend your
that
experience to someone else?
the biggest takeaway was that it was happening on a whole lot of different levels at once. There was no magic bullet. It was like you got to take care of your being in all these different ways, which is obviously their approach, which is sort of integrated, complementary, holistic approach to health. And yes, maybe you got to use a sledgehammer if you got to stop things in their tracks pretty quickly. You got to throw a drug in there. But for the most part,
Mm.
health is about balance and they were attempting to give us each parts that we needed to bring our beings back into balance. Whether it's food or thinking or spirituality or exercise, all those things. So I mean, yeah, that's my takeaway. Is you need to be thinking about your health on all different levels, and that's why those movies we watched from the
the Heal documentary, right?
Right. I'm trying to remember the words that describe the kind of recovery. What's it called?
Not holistic.
No, it was the name of the book that in the movies that we were watching at night. Anyway, the fact that each one of them focused on a different aspect of somebody's healing, and that's what got them to the other side of their situation. And each one of them was important. So that's why when I got back here, I made up my acronym.
Right.
10 different things. I remember
that.
Right.
What was your acronym again?
SIDMO REAPS.
Oh yeah, SIDMO REAPS.
Right. So in this case, it was like spirituality, intuition, diet, movement, optimism, reasons for living, E. I can't remember what E is. Interesting question. A was authentic emotion. P was people, because people are the source of all love, and you got to be connected to them because that's what's going to fuel your whole trip. And then S was for supplements. And I went really big on the supplements, as I've told you. So
yeah,
all those things are important to me getting back in balance.
Yeah.
So I don't think about cancer as the big C anymore. It's not like a battle. It's not like a war. It's just
right.
Oh.
So what do you?
You guys are doing something weird. You need to be readjusted and go in some other direction.
What are your? So when you hear people say cancer sucks, how do you feel about that? I mean, for you personally, not in general,
Well, I feel like for them it sucks. That's what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't say that about my own situation because I feel like I gotta own it. It's me.
Right. It's me.
It's nothing else but me.
Yeah.
I can't say that the cancer cells came from somewhere else and invaded my body and started killing me. No, it's me, and my cells have lost their direction. Which is why after I saw that fantastic fungi movie, I started thinking about the mycelium that we have between us as human beings, which is really energy mycelium. And so we can communicate with each other through energy in the same way that the mushrooms communicate with each other through all the things that they send back and forth, right? So that's when I realized, okay, I can enroll a bunch of people to come into my energy mycelium and communicate with these things I called hooligans, right? The cancer cells, I call them hooligans.
Oh.
and the people and the good entities in my body, I was calling chi shrooms, as in qigong, tai chi energy,
energy
plus shroom. So it was a combination between the mushroom and the energy chi. And I imagined little tiny samurai warriors, except they didn't have swords. They just sort of like had little wands. And so I enrolled all these people, maybe a couple dozen people, to use their extra imagination time to send energy to my body to help these chi shrooms with their wands find the hooligans and just gently sort of tap them and say, it's time for you guys to like melt back into the substrate. You're going in the wrong direction. You need your energy for other stuff. So just like relax and disappear. So for me, it wasn't the battle metaphor. It was like, easy does it. Just
Yeah.
relax out of this thing. You don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You're free. So I don't know. A lot of people tell me they were sending their energy. So
Nice.
I figured, why not
Yeah,
try
that
it out?
stuff. What's that?
Why not try it out?
Right.
What have I got to
You never,
lose?
nothing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, I have to say, one of my favorite things about spending time with you in Mexico was those after hours. We got to commandeer the auditorium and watch those cancer movies. And after, after a long day, we did it. Every night we were there till 9
Oh.
p.m. It was a long day of
And
treatment.
all we had to do was ask.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like there's so many situations in the world where all you have to do is ask.
Mm-hmm.
When you assume you can't do stuff, you're going to get shut out of a lot of things in your life. But if you just ask, the
Yeah.
universe needs to know that you want to know something, that you want to do something. If you don't tell it, how's it going to provide what you need?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to just sort of like take the mental and emotional space of being honest about what you want.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed those times as well. I mean, because one of the few times when we got to be together instead of in separate therapies all over the place.
Yeah, we all had different schedules going all over the place, and it was our little time to have a get together, Besides eating, but eating we're all separated as well. So yeah, it's too bad with the COVID having to start, towards the end of our time there, and all the changes that the facility had to go through, and I'm so happy that I got to celebrate my birthday with you guys. That was
Yeah.
always a good memory.
You were like 32, right?
Yeah. Anyways, do
How's
you
your
have
son?
any?
How's your son doing?
He's good. He's 17 now, and he just a few months ago started lifting weights. So
Ooh.
he's been coming here to like lift weights outside every day almost. So after he finishes school, and he's got his driver's license now. So
Uh-oh. Look out.
yeah, yeah. Last night we took him. There's our stadium, an outdoor stadium. They had put up some Christmas lights, so for a fee you can drive around all the Christmas lights, and you set your radio to the.
Yeah, we have that here too.
You do? This is our first year having this, and it was fun. But my mom and I were in the back seat, and we're singing, 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 and my son is like, he doesn't know the words because he wasn't raised like my brother and I were raised with this Christmas music. Like that was our thing every Christmas, and so he's like, yeah, it was a good experience for him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, who knows what this Christmas is going to be like? Because so far, the most I've seen is your Christmas decorations in your house behind you dancing, which has made me really feel good seeing
Yeah.
those Christmas decorations. Whoops. Sorry about that.
Oh.
That's my hearing impaired telephone.
Oh.
It makes a lot of noise.
Yeah. At least it doesn't light up and say yoo.
Well, it does, but I have to be paying attention to see the lights, so
Ah.
I'll leave the sound on. Yeah, so the body's falling apart. What can I say? But I'm not going to let that get me down.
I agree completely. I was just on a class, and they were talking about our interpretation of age and how we have interpretations for everything. But so someone had brought up how she's in a situation, she's in her 60s, and she's in a situation where she's feeling great, but her, like you're saying, her body's starting to break down and stuff. So like, how do you change that dialogue in your mind? about how you're feeling and where you're at. Because if you look at the number, then you're going to be, you know, you're not going to live your life the full on out, you know, I think. What do you think?
No, I do. My wife brought home this book of essays by a Zen Buddhist. I guess she's a monk. I read the first couple, and it's all about her perspective on the different things that are going on with her body as she ages, you know. And my wife said, I'm not going there. I'm just not going there. You know, it's like, I'm not going to start thinking about it from an old person's point of view, because you don't have to. I mean, yes, you can say, oh, we've learned a lot. We have all this wisdom and, you know, we have a different perspective because of all we've been through. But at the same time, you don't have to look at it from the perspective of being old. You're just still the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, so you drive a used car, you still drive the car. You get it fixed. It doesn't stop you from going the places you want to go.
Totally.
Right? So, pre-owned. I'm a pre-used person.
That's why I like talking to you. You always make me laugh.
Likewise.
Yeah. Anyways, it was great catching up with you. And
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that, you know, we got to meet each other 8 months ago and, you know, support each other and learn from each other. So this has been a wonderful friendship. And thank you for being my first interview.
Yeah, well, you're still there and I'm still here. So it goes on, you know, the beat goes on.
The beat goes on. Yeah.
So you're on one island, I'm on another island, but here we are.
Yep.
So, may our islands be happy together forever.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for making my experience with cancer so joyful. And I'm just so blessed to have you in my life.
Me too. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Anyways.
See you in the dance hall.
Yeah. We'll bring back dance maybe next year. Started off with a bang. 2021.
I think I've been wanting to experiment with dancing together over Zoom, so we may want to try it sometime.
Dance over Zoom?
Or over this or over something, you know, whatever, just, you know, through the ether.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though we're not in the same place.
Yeah, a lot of my friends they're like calling me out. They're like, come up to the house, let's dance. So yeah, they want to be a part of this dancing too. It seems like, you know, that should be a thing. Like we have Zoom dancing now. Yeah, we just need a DJ.
We do. That's true. They're easy to find.
Yeah. Okay, Sid, I'll let you go. Thanks for coming on and spending your time with me.
Yeah, go eat some more of your curry. I wish I could be there.
Oh, my curry? I had 2 bowls today.
Well, I'm off to dinner. So
okay.
See you soon.
Have a good one. Take care. Aloha.
Aloha.
Mele kalikimaka.
Mele kalikimaka.